Moscow is, in total, a massive and sprawling urban center that serves as the historic, political, and cultural heart of the entire Russian nation.
Collapse.
Blizzards have paralyzed Moscow, stranding travelers at airports and freezing traffic on the MCAD and major highways.
Accidents, traffic is stalled, trucks are queuing for Moscow, the road to Moscow is shut, such a traffic jam. Getting into Moscow is
Impossible. No gasoline, no heat, no hope. Freeze, wolf's tail. We're searching
for gasoline. This is the only gas station that still has fuel. I hope there's enough for us and that we make it to the front of the line. We've already been waiting for an hour.
The tires are spinning. In Moscow, it's a real icy hell. All the roads have come to a standstill. The city is paralyzed. Massive traffic jams, a logistical collapse. Cars are spinning their wheels and can't move. Vehicles are towing each other with ropes. Muscovites are abandoning their cars and walking to work. The capital has plunged
into chaos. Everyone is going uphill like this and we're all walking together. Everything here is completely at a standstill.
Breaking news, friends. There's a collapse and panic in Moscow. Cyclone Francis has practically paralyzed Moscow's airports. There's a baggage riot at Sheremetyevo. Thousands of passengers have been unable to get their suitcases for 6 hours. Where's the luggage? Where's the luggage?
Where is all the missing luggage? Tell me, Muscovites.
Have been sitting on the floor for days, including children and the elderly. They're chanting, "Where's the luggage?" Fights are breaking out. There's scuffling and aggression. Many innocent people are currently locked deep inside these airplanes. The collapse has spread beyond the terminals. Due to a shortage of ramps and buses, passengers are being kept on planes for hours after. Passengers clash and chant for luggage during the collapse.
Logistics issues delay travelers.
After landing, it failed. Turn it off. Hundreds of flights are delayed or canceled at major Moscow airports.
Facing massive disruptions, exhausted people have been stuck traveling on the road for 14, 20, or even 48 hours straight. The powerful cyclone continues to cause chaos.
Francis is devastating Muscovites. The Balkan cyclone Francis
Has covered the capital of Mordor. Blizzard, gale-force winds, snowdrifts. Over.
half-meter blowaway.
Yellow alert in Moscow. Airports face chaos and crowds. People are sleeping on floors with flights delayed 48 hours at Moscow airport. They are practically shut down. Up to 1,000 flights have been cancelled. Dozens have been delayed for hours. Passengers are getting stuck in the terminals. Air traffic has been disrupted. Shouting, scandals, and panic are breaking out.
Operations halted with nearly 1,000 flights cancelled.
For hours, terminals have been packed and air traffic disrupted. This is the situation. Please, I must get to my office to handle all flight delays. There will not be...
Moscow is paralyzed by a severe snowstorm. A yellow danger level has been declared in the city.
Of danger. By evening, snowdrifts will reach up to 65 centimeters. This could set a new weather record. The snow is falling almost non-stop. Wind gusts are reaching 20 meters per second. Public utilities can't keep up. Snow removal equipment is getting stuck in the drifts. Residents are clearing the courtyards themselves.
The dedicated construction crews are working tirelessly around the clock to clear the debris and repair the damaged pavement as quickly as possible, so that local residents and emergency vehicles can at least begin to drive through the area safely and efficiently very soon, restoring vital transportation links for the entire community after this unexpected disruption.
or at all.
Only sadness remains here.
Big Moscow blackout.
In Belgorod, Russia as well. There is now a complete and total power blackout across the entire Moscow region. following a series of intense strikes.
On
The CHP.
More than
More than 500,000 fascists are currently left without any electricity, and they are also without the regions of Sochny, Belgorod, and Shebekino.
And dozens of other nearby settlements. Then the sudden strike hit.
Shelling hit the CHP and substations, leaving over 500,000 without power. The grid just failed after a final explosion.
The exquisite shining golden ring.
Around Moscow is tightening. Moscow region, Eagle. Bryansk region, explosions. Fuck! That's it, fuck. That's it. There's no fire in the whole city. That's it. Yeah. The ring over Moscow is tightening. Moscow region, Orel, Bryansk region, explosions. A missile alert has been issued. This is Ukraine's response after the night. For the first time, the war is returning deep into Russia, bringing cold, darkness, and panic. The Balkan whirlwind has brought heavy snowfalls, squally winds, an aviation collapse, and complete transportation paralysis. The snow has been falling almost non-stop for several days. Wind gusts up to 18 meters per second are expected, with up to 60% of the monthly precipitation norm falling in a single day. Snowdrifts are up to 45 centimeters, and in some places up to 65 centimeters, which already exceeds the historical record. Moscow is literally being buried under snow and ice.
It's unclear how to pull through now. Right here on the large bridges. Record snow is burying Moscow, but locals are helping clear the streets.
We got our lift under the support after a tractor cleared the path. Moscow's airports are grounded with hundreds of flights cancelled and passengers stranded. Traffic is at a standstill on the MCAD, with accidents reported on the M4 and M2 highways. At the capital's airports, there's an aviation collapse. Flight cancellations, panic, evacuations, hundreds of flights. The city is at a standstill. No one is flying anywhere. At the capital's airports, there's an aviation collapse, flight cancellations, panic, evacuations. Hundreds of flights can't take off. Dozens of planes are grounded. More than 100 flights are delayed. The total number of delays exceeds 100. A yellow danger level has been declared in Moscow. Dozens of planes.
More than 100 flights are delayed, and a yellow danger level has been declared in Moscow. Many are stuck, while the rest just wait.
Accordingly, can't turn around. The capital's air gates are effectively paralyzed. Right now, thousands of exhausted travelers are stuck sitting in the crowded airport terminals for hours on end, waiting for news that never comes. Countless flights are being rescheduled or cancelled entirely, leaving passengers stranded, while the complex logistical networks supporting the airport are completely falling apart under the pressure. It is a scene of total chaos, as the capital's primary air gates have become effectively paralyzed, bringing all regional air travel to a grinding halt. Traffic jams, accidents, and chaos. There are traffic jams and accidents on the M4 and M2 highways. Cars are skidding. Public transport is operating with disruptions. Utility services have been put on emergency alert. Nearly 30,000 people, about 10,000 pieces of equipment. The snow is falling faster than it can be cleared. Moscow can't keep up. And in the Moscow region, there are total blackouts, power outages in several localities. No electricity, no heat, and no water. In some places, the power is out. In others, there's no heat and no water. People are complaining about cold apartments and no running water. And this is just the beginning. But most importantly, in the Belgorod region, it's just a disaster there. Complain about the cold.
Belgorod faces a humanitarian catastrophe. Overnight shelling of engineering infrastructure has left over 500,000 people without electricity, heat, or water. As of 6 a.m., the situation remains severe.
The specific total that we are looking at for this particular calculation is exactly 556, which represents the final sum of all the individual components we have meticulously gathered and verified throughout this entire process from start to finish, without any exceptions or errors whatsoever in the final tallying of the results.
Gladkov says 600,000 lack power and water.
Work. More than
500,000 Russians have been left without power, heat, and water. Unfortunately, today is a very
unpleasant
morning.
As a result of
Overnight shelling left 556,000 without power.
signals jammed at the hit Oriel power plant. The noose around Moscow is tightening in the Moscow region. Blackouts. We are attacking thermal power plants in the Moscow region, Belgorod, Bryansk, and Kursk regions.
It heated up. The lights were just on. Something exploded. Power plants near Moscow are being destroyed as the noose tightens.
We're attacking power plants in Moscow, Belgorod, Bryansk, and Kursk. The power's out. Something just exploded. Holy shit.
It is substantially and considerably much greater than
500,000 are without heating. Fuck, no way, that's it. The whole city is out. More than 500,000 are without heating, and 2,000 apartment buildings are without heat. Molotkov is outright calling this a bad morning. The region is basically plunging into darkness and cold, and it's all because we're attacking thermal power plants. The ring around Moscow is tightening. Belgorod, Bryansk, Kursk, the Moscow region. There are total blackouts there. The power plants have been blown up. So strikes on infrastructure. Orel and Bryansk are burning. At night, damage to the energy infrastructure was recorded in several regions of the Oriel region. Explosions. There were partial outages of electricity, water, and heating. The governor confirmed damage to a utility infrastructure facility in the Bryansk region and power outages. Strikes on Orel and Bryansk infrastructure caused major energy damage and blackouts. Governors confirmed outages in Belgorod, Orel, and Bryansk due to attacks and weather. Russia is freezing. Snow, frost, outages, blackouts, no electricity, there's a yellow danger level, snow, frost, outages.
Widespread blackouts, absolutely no electricity, and no heat at all. Devastating strikes on critical infrastructure. Everything seemed to happen all at once. One specific place is an art school located on the second floor, where we find Sedula, Saksit, and Jimnik working together. There's still a car rattling over there, but at least it's beautiful.
Beautiful winter wonderland. Ah, the snow is absolutely nothing at all.
Cities are left without electricity, heat, and water. Aviation is grounded. Utility systems.
The system simply can't handle this massive load anymore. Freeze right where you are. Freeze, you miserable wolf tails. You're not going anywhere at all. Just look at this mess. It's entirely because of incompetent idiots like that Absolutely everything has come to a complete and total standstill right now. This is already
not just bad weather. This is a systemic crisis that is hitting the country right now, and we continue to monitor the situation. Friends, please like this video and subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dasha Shaslivaya. And in the comments, write a few warm words of support
of Ukraine. And now, take a look at an analysis of top-tier Russia's propaganda. Hello, dear friends. Unfortunately, this morning is anything but good. As a result of the enemy's overnight shelling of the engineering infrastructure in the Belgorod region, as of 6 a.m., 556,000 people in 6 municipal districts are without electricity. Almost the same number of people are without heat. In the first part, that's 1,920 apartment buildings. Nearly 200,000 people are without water and sewage. All emergency crews are at their posts. In 15 minutes, I will hold a meeting of the emergency headquarters. We will review the current results of the restoration efforts. Preparations are underway for the past several months. Of the backup capacities that we have been restoring together over the past several months, restoration work, where it is possible to restore, will now accelerate, and we will be able to fully assess the damage and the timeline for recovery. The situation is extremely difficult, but I hope that we will be able to get through it. We will provide more detailed and up-to-date information as soon as possible. I will certainly do my very best to ensure that I provide that information to you by 1:00 p.m. this afternoon at the latest. In the meantime, I will remain on the line and hold for you while you complete your necessary tasks.
We have scheduled 12 comprehensive follow-up meetings of the Central Operational Headquarters to ensure everything is on track. During these sessions, I will personally check exactly how the critical decisions we are making now at 7 o'clock are being implemented across all departments to guarantee that our strategic objectives are being met without any further delays.
Pador is captured and mocked. We
discussed
various
topics, and we kind of want some positivity, but it won't work out. After all, we are in Russia. Vladimir Vladimirovich, we are residents of Mariupol from the demolished building at 16 Moskovskaya Street. Once again, we are appealing to you as the guarantor of the Constitution for help and hope to be heard. For almost 3 years, we've been throwing away our apartment because we have no other place to live to death. This was our only home. People lived here in private and municipal apartments. We were promised the building would be restored so we could return home without issues. But instead, we became homeless. Aside from registration in a pit, we have nothing. We've appealed everywhere, but the administration refuses to help or solve our problem. We are being provided with housing based on decrees that have no legal force, and they are also illegally reducing the square footage of the housing. According to Article 40.1 of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, everyone has the right to housing and no one can be deprived of it. We have been deprived of this right in violation of the Constitution of the Russian Federation, which is the highest legal act. We ask you to help restore our building to keep the previous address without changing the street or the numbering so that we can return home to our own apartments. We have survived the horrors of war. Some have lost loved ones, some have lost family members. Those who survived this war are now going through. Please help restore our building at its original address so we can return home. Having survived the horrors of war and lost family, we now face a hellish fight for housing. We hope to be heard by the citizens of Russia.
Of the city of Mariupol, living at 16 Moskovska Street. If he is hinting to us and our leadership that it wouldn't be a bad idea to strike and completely eliminate the leadership of Ukraine including the newly appointed scoundrel terrorist and bastard Budanov, well, that would be very good. Take Venezuela as an example. One can discuss this, and I'm sure that India could have a very interesting perspective here. Maduro made the right decision after all. He started relying on Russia. You can't say much publicly, but let's put it this way. If it weren't for Russia, Venezuela would be in flames right now. I state this with full responsibility. We have dedicated a tremendous amount of effort to preserve the peace in Venezuela, so that today Donald Trump could call and have a sincere, deeply personal and brotherly conversation with Maduro. And why is that? Because he finally realized that it is simply impossible to engage in these manipulative political games with us now. All of those old tricks, deceptions, and complex scheming, those days have finally come to an end. We have firmly made our decision. We didn't let the Americans tear Venezuela apart. How did we do it? Well, someday they'll make movies about it. They'll write books. For now, it's a secret, but believe me, it was done brilliantly. It was done by people who gained real combat experience during the special military operation. It was done fantastically well, and it was done in advance because we had intelligence. We prepared so thoroughly that when Trump tried to send in the fleet, he realized that this fleet would sink near the nearest peninsulas. No missiles would save him, and none of that would solve anything. That's it.
This is Kupin's hysteria. An hour and a half to 2 hours after the start of active combat, it will simply be drowned. No missiles will save it, and none of this will solve anything. This is Kupinsk hysteria. It is hard to say how many Ukrainians were lost in the terrible onslaught on Kupinsk, which was picked up by hysterics who don't understand a thing about politics, but for whom it was important to shout, "Everything is lost," playing into the hands of the kokols. They cry out, "We alone know the truth about what's happening. Tell us!" They don't understand that this fits perfectly with Zelensky's and others' idea that before the meeting, it's necessary to show that the Ukrainians are in control of the situation, that they're taking the initiative, that everything is going well for them. See, the Russians are saying nothing but lies. And here you go, Russian military bloggers are squealing like pregnant pigs. Protesters here support Zelensky's push to show Ukraine's initiative before the meeting, proving Russian claims are lies. Russian military bloggers are panicking. Pregnant pigs don't squeal at all, it's just squealing. And the pregnant pigs are actually on the Ukrainian side, and they're the ones squealing over there. And ours, well, let's say, are cawing like crows, saying everything is lost, and they're the only ones telling the truth and urgently asking you to buy a thinking KVD. And with that money, we'll help the front, for which we're now doing everything possible to make things worse. If such a situation had happened during the Great Patriotic War, there would have been no Operation Bagration. Nothing would have been possible, because an honest military blogger would have pointed out something here and there and claimed that only thanks to his 30 kopecks, they managed to buy everything they needed, and otherwise the army would have perished.